What is up, guys? MACABESPEED coming at you. Great little episode, bringing it back to the house today. A pretty big backyard, a pretty nice backyard, a fairly open backyard. But lately, it's fallen into absolute disrepair. These Joshua trees are not only spiky and ugly, but also incredibly invasive. Like if you leave them alone for a period of time, they just absolutely go crazy. And I've got a few of them in my yard. Recently I've gotten a bunch of cool cutting tools. I've gotten a survival shovel, I've gotten a pocket chainsaw, I've gotten just a few different implements that I wouldn't normally use for this task on a typical basis. I don't own a chainsaw. Some good soul out there wants to send a Milwaukee M18 cordless chainsaw to my P.O. box, please feel free. But at this point, I don't own a chainsaw. So I am going to be left with less than standard ways of hacking these beasts down. Alright guys, it's going to be a really hot Labor Day weekend, so I won't waste too much time talking about it. Let's just get right into it. Alright guys, and as promised, we do have our survival shovel here. I'm kind of using it a little bit differently. I got the knife threaded onto the extensions without the shovel piece itself. Hopefully going to go ahead and take advantage, of that saw blade on the back here. Last but not least, obviously we do have the skill saw, but it's obviously not the best choice for a project like this. Let's see how this unfolds.
Seems like it gets a little bit wiggly right here, but it's just a threaded piece. Still really good, really solid, really sharp.
Very sad moment, boys. I broke my pocket chainsaw. I think that just goes to show that that specific implement, the pocket chainsaw, the stainless steel little giggly wire, I think that's supposed to be used only in emergencies, and maybe the survival shovel is more capable as far as a day in, day out style usage. It's 102 right now. Hydrate. Okay, it really is 102, so you guys are going to see the full glory. It's hot. So I definitely think we learned a few things about our survival shovel today. First off, this blade, very careful, very careful. Come on, girl, don't make me look stupid. It's not very hard to do, but whatever, here we go. During our usage, I was able to see this guy loosen up. It is a threaded connection, but it's currently nice and tight at this point. The saw blade itself is still super sharp. I do like the fact that we were able to go ahead and reverse this handle here and utilize it in a way that it was not dictated from the manufacturer, kind of get the threads in a reverse orientation and use this as a handle for the knife instead of the shovel. That's definitely a plus side for me as far as this tool is concerned. And when we're finished, we just go ahead and slap it all back together the way we found it. And the shovel head is currently my tripod, so we're not going to mess with it, but you get the idea. I definitely think that all in all, I'm going to 100% chalk this survival blade up as a win. Alright guys, it's the next day, and I just want to take a quick second to go ahead and say thank you all so much for making today's broken chainsaw video absolutely viral. I cannot thank you guys enough. It's the biggest hit I've ever had on my whole channel, so if you guys were a part of that, shout out to you. Today what I want to go ahead and do is take the survival shovel we looked at yesterday one step further. I just don't think it is completely set up at this point. Alright, we got all the main components sitting out here. Let's go ahead and take this thing one step further, like I said. I want to go ahead and put everything together exactly the way that I would intend to use it in the field, and to get everything set up in my bug out bag so that you guys at home know exactly what I'm riding with when I hit the trails. I think it's cool that this thing did come with a ferro rod fire starter, but it does kind of suck that there's no magnesium block to go with it. My good friend Jim, who pretty much financed the entire survival kit here, went ahead and sent in some Tinder paracord. Now what is that? It's not like, you know, you get lucky on a website type paracord. It's there's a little red filament inside the very center of this thing, and that one red filament is very flammable. Probably going to be an asset to you if you need to start that emergency fire. Although to be honest, like, the idea of primitive fire right now in California in a bug out bag in general is really sketchy, just because the whole state is basically the Tinder filament at this point. Now what I wanted to do with this, guys, is I wanted to go ahead and kind of unthread some and just stuff as much as I physically can into one of these guys and still have the next piece fit, right? So I feel like this is going to go in here, and we can stuff a good length of this paracord into this cavity. See where we're at depth-wise. I feel like I could still get this to close, but I do think that I am kind of coming up on that critical depth, so I am going to go ahead and break out the old survival knife and give her a cut. That worked really well, actually. This is what I was talking about. This center wick right here is basically the fire starter element of this paracord itself, and what is considered to be the Tinder usage of this specific item. Gone ahead and cut a good length of it off. I feel like it's going to be sufficient for us, especially given the natural materials in any squirrel. Literal squirrel right there. California protects them so heavily, there's no way you could ever shoot a squirrel legally in your backyard and be a YouTuber and tell people about it. So I just leave the squirrels alone and keep the branches high up off my fences so that they can't make homes. Realistically, if you can't engage something in your backyard, what's the next best thing? Destroy its habitat. Pretty happy with that. I know this thing's packed pretty well with that paracord, and I've still got the ability to go ahead and tightly close this at that clamp screw fitting right there. Good. Do have our camelback, which I have yet to install. I'm gonna go ahead and just toss this guy in here like so. Use this nice little Velcro guy. Just kind of go up through this thing. I like the idea of going through the plastic ring. Sick. That's sick. Super sick. Like it. Alright. Got our shovel all squared away. I do want to go ahead and add this little gem to the pack itself. The Smith & Wesson Extreme Ops folder, non-spring assist, super reliable, very robust, ultra sharp, guys. Honestly, this is very, 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 very difficult to beat, both effectiveness and price point also. Real basic, real small, easy first aid kit. It's not going to have everything you need in it. You're not going to be doing sutures. You're not going to be doing open heart surgery with this guy. But basically what you're looking at in a small Altoid size container is antiseptic in a can, right? If you're way far out on the trail, in the field, whatever the case may be, infection might be one of the greatest risks that you face. So having this little antiseptic can, it's going to go a long way for you. Where will I always know this is? This side. Small pocket. Cool, that's cool. These fascinated me as a kid. Honestly, the emergency space blanket totally fascinated me as a kid. They weigh almost nothing. They're great for being not only a signal reflector, but also if you do end up in a position where you do need to retain your warmth, you know, they do serve the purpose. Can't overlook the importance of a face covering, not for like the coof or anything like that at this point, you know, going out in the middle of nowhere by ourselves, but just for dusty conditions, whatever the case may be. Could be used for water filtration. A good seamless face covering like this absolutely has a place in a bug out bag like this. Tourniquet. I don't have a snake bite kit yet, so you know, in a pinch this might hopefully be something that might extend my time until I could be able to get to a snake bite kit, something like that. If I was bit, if I had, you know, if I had significant bleeding, I'd probably be looking towards trying to phone for help instead of go for, you know, a ride to save myself. But a tourniquet is never gonna hurt you in those situations, and it's one of those things that, once again, it weighs almost nothing. You have to really keep that in mind. Like, what's the total weight of the pack, right? Because this is completely with no provisions. No food, no drinks, no water, no Camelback filled up, nothing. So I have to really be mindful, considering I am my own engine when I go out on these missions for the most part. Now, one thing I do eventually want to get for this guy is the extension handle that's on Amazon. They make an extension handle for this specific shovel. It's got the same finish, it's got the same everything, and it just makes it about 1 foot longer. Exact matching threads, and it gives you a secondary cavity in there to where you're going to be able to hopefully hold more stuff, right? I like being able to accessorize things and be prepared for any situation that comes my way. If I had an additional handle at this point, I might go ahead and try and stash a legit fishing kit, like not like a, you know, super cheap paper clip and a string, but an actual fishing kit that you might make use of in a primitive survival situation. I know a lot of this stuff kind of just seems like common sense, but oftentimes these situations arise with little to no warning. That's what an emergency is, right? It emerges out of nowhere with little to no warning typically. Either you have certain items or you don't. If you find yourself bleeding out and you don't have some way to stop that bleeding, be it a tourniquet or otherwise, you're gonna pass away. You're not gonna make it forever sleep time for you, right? If you don't have certain things on your person, if you don't have the knowledge on how to use those things effectively as well, it might not pan out the best day for you. Now, I'm planning a pretty hardcore mission for the initial usage of all this stuff, going through some old haunts that I used to ride like 12 plus years ago. Super cool, super significant areas in East Bay history, East Bay, Contra Costa, California, and honestly, I don't know, it's fascinated me. Another thing that fascinates me, ghost towns, old history, haunted stuff, mines, anything of that nature, totally into it. So I do have another little mission coming up. I do want to go ahead and get this stuff in the field and show you exactly what you can expect of it, not only, you know, on a tabletop review like this, but also in the field, in action. I think it's gonna be a great place to go ahead and end today's video, guys. But if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe for more with that notifications button so you can stay current on the channel, as well as when new videos come out. If you really like this content, make sure you share it so that somebody else can see it. And I'll catch you boys in the next one.